Hannah! It's Wednesday, and I'm in a better mood than I was last week. Not a lot better, but slightly. I wanted to take a moment to compare Buffy the Vampire Slayer, Grey's Anatomy, and Glee. Now you may be thinking, Katie, what in the world do these three shows have to do with each other? But I assure you, I can easily make comparisons between these, and I can prove, using Buffy, that Grey's Anatomy and Glee aren't so great. I recently started watching Buffy because my friend got me into it. I like other Joss Whedon shows, and so I had a feeling I'd like this one, and then I found out that I loved it. Sure, it has issues, sure it's not perfect, but honestly, I adore Buffy, and the main reason I love Buffy is the same reason I don't really love Glee. Don't get me wrong, Glee is a good show. I enjoy it. It's a fun thing to watch for an hour and just sort of escape from the real world and listen to pretty voices. However, is Glee a great show? No. And I think the main reason Glee is not a great show is the main reason Buffy is. Continuity. When it comes to writing, Glee's fine from, dialogue to dialogue lines. But when it comes to sort of like overall episodes and overall seasons, there's no arc to the season, and there's sort of no sense to the episode order. I mean, if you take a moment to look at a character like, Puck, you'll be like, oh, okay, so he got Finn pregnant. That would be interesting. He got Quinn pregnant, and then he was kind of interested in her, but then he wasn't, and he had a thing with Santana, but then he didn't, and then he was into Rachel, and then he wasn't, and then he was into Lauren? What? It just doesn't make sense when you take a second to stop and look at all the episodes together. And when it comes to the characters and their relationships, I feel like all the plots involving their relationships are just exhausted so fast. It's like in one episode they go from not knowing each other to getting together to breaking up. And it's like you could have expanded that over half the season. I'm worried that the show isn't going to last because it goes through everything like it's on speed. Whereas with Buffy, you can tell. They sat down and they thought, okay, what's going to happen to this character? What's going to happen this season? Like, what's sort of the overall theme of the season? What's the overall plot? So basically, I think Glee should take an example from Buffy. It should try work some continuity for once. Right now, half of me is very dark and half of me is very light, and this is kind of cool. Okay, then Grey's Anatomy. How does that relate? Well, Grey's Anatomy recently had a musical episode, and Buffy at one point had a musical episode. And Buffy's was awesome, and Grey's Anatomy sucked. And here's why. If you're gonna do a musical episode, you have to go all out. You cannot hold back. You cannot try to still be a serious show. Musicals aren't serious. I mean, sometimes they deal with serious themes, but they do so in a ridiculous manner where people sing. Musicals are just a ridiculous genre, and you have to embrace all of the ridiculous aspects of them if you want to succeed. Buffy did that. It full-on did that. It had singing and dancing, and it was hilarious because there were songs about, like, getting mustard out of a shirt or getting a parking ticket, but at the same time, the episode also dealt with some really serious issues. It had, like, a big character revelation for Buffy, and it really advanced the plot of the show. Grey's Anatomy, it was like they didn't want to go full out. Like, they were, like, nervous. Like, oh, we're doing a musical episode. Let's try to keep it normal. They didn't write their own music. They used music that the show had already done. They had, like, one person singing and everyone else was talking. All the important plot development happened in talking scenes, not in singing. And it just, the whole thing felt sort of half-assed. Pardon my French, but it did. Like, it wasn't all there. So basically, Buffy's awesome and all shows should look to it as an example. Also, I wanted to say that a girl recently went missing in Danville and she's suspected dead from suicide. And so I just wanted to say that my thoughts, and all our thoughts really, should be with her family and her, and just, I hope they get through this, because that really sucks. Okay, Hannah, now I have to go drive and stuff. Okay, bye.